Hello folks, I'm Giuseppe Neva from Simulation Daily. Today we are doing something interesting, which is my first full flight in virtual reality on PC using a Pimax Crystal Super headset. As you may know, I've always been a skeptic about VR. It's not because I'm not interested, but pretty much all the experiences I've had in the past were either disappointing or mediocre at best. And with my job as a gaming journalist, I've tried tons of games and headsets at events and such. None of them really impressed me. Either the games lacked depth or were gimmicky, or the headsets lacked clarity, response, performance, etc. It never really worked for me until a few weeks ago. At FS Weekend in Lelystad, I finally tried Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 with PlayStation VR 2, and it just worked. No faffing around, just a plug-and-play experience, which solved one of my main gripes with the technology, which is that I had to spend way too much time playing around with settings to get something workable. That being said, as you may know, I have the PS5 version, but it's not my daily driver. I fly mostly on the PC version, so the PSVR 2 isn't really the solution that works for me. But it made me think, if VR technology has progressed so much that I can actually enjoy the simulator on a machine that's as relatively underpowered as a PS5, could today PC VR allow me to enjoy virtual reality without having to compromise visuals too much? That was my other big issue. I have a fairly powerful PC, and you can read the exact specs in the description, but I'm not willing to sacrifice too much of that power and the visuals it grants just to run VR. Having to make too many compromises with the graphics settings turned me off. Experiencing new technology like foveated rendering in conjunction with frame generation has given me hope that a cutting-edge PC headset can grant me a pretty smooth experience without having to accept too many compromises. That's when Pimax contacted me, offering to let me test one of their Crystal Super headsets, which gives me exactly what I need to answer that question. Consider that it comes with dynamic foveated rendering and all these bells and whistles, which could put less strain on my hardware while providing, hopefully, a good experience. Now, a couple of housekeeping disclaimers. As I mentioned, the headset used in this video is provided by Pimax. We are not getting to keep it, as it's a loaner for 3 months, so we'll test it thoroughly and then send it back. This is also not a review. As usual with us, we don't believe in reviews. In these and likely more videos, we'll test the headset and tell you what we think completely raw and unscripted. As you know, we believe in giving you the knowledge you need to make your own purchasing decision, instead of telling you whether you should or shouldn't buy something. You know what to do with your money better than we do. If you get to the end of this video wanting to buy a Pimax headset, great! There is an affiliated link in the description and in the accompanying article that you can use if you want, and it will result in a small commission. If you don't, that's just as great. As a matter of fact, this flight and the video don't have the purpose to convince you to buy a headset. The real purpose is to convince me, a hardcore flat screener, that I shouldn't stick this headset back into its box and send it back right now. Basically, if this experience can convince me that VR has matured enough to provide me with an experience that is both enjoyable and immersive without forcing me to make too many compromises or to faff too much with the settings, I'm going to go deeper into the rabbit hole, create more content, and quite possibly make the jump and buy my own headset when I have to send this one back. To that end, I put the settings of the simulator to high without wasting too much time min-maxing. The only specific change I made is air traffic quantity and variety to ultra, and park traffic variety to ultra as well. As you may know, I don't compromise on traffic, ever. Even if I'm not flying an airliner today, I like to see them around me. I'm also using the new ATG Airline Traffic Global add-on by Bravo Airspace, so they'll have the correct liveries. So yeah, no faffing around with the settings. You get one chance, Pimax. While this is my first full flight, I played around with it a little bit over the past few days, and what I saw was promising, but this is the real test. Now, time to get started. This is Chofu Airport near Tokyo. It's a small little airfield that I absolutely love, and the base of new Centrair air service, which flies its dorniers to the islands of Tokyo Prefecture. It's also a great place to relax in the lovely park near the runway, where you can enjoy watching the planes take off and land. It's one of my favorite places in Japan, so it just makes sense for me to start from here. We are flying to Chubu Centrair today, the main airport serving Nagoya. although we are going to do some sightseeing over Tokyo for a little while before we get underway. Incidentally, as you may imagine, I'm a complete newbie in everything VR, so you may see me doing silly stuff, fumble with the controls or make mistakes that may make VR veterans cringe. Please forgive me, I'm learning as I'm doing. Incidentally, I'm also using the checklist on the tablet a bit. Being able to read the text is part of testing the clarity of the headset. Mixture set to full. Then idle cut off. Fuel pump goes off. Ignition switch, start. Oh. Okay. Oil pressure check. It's correct. I'm just doing this very quick. Navigation lights go on. Avionics switch go on. And turn on the Garmin. Okay. Now we go back into these and that route, send to ATC and avionics, and we have the route. Perfect. So we can start looking around and everything seems to be perfectly fine. Okay, I'm just regulating my view there and taking off the parking brake, the flaps. I'm so not used to not see my controls. Goes into takeoff position. Then I need to to get used to where my throttle and sticks are. You could like oh yeah, turn off the taxi light, turn on the taxi light, turn on the landing lights and the strobe lights. Oops, I actually turned off the navigation light. And we are going to the runway. As I said, I'm so not used to like not seeing my throttle and my stick, so it is going to be a little bit of a you know, Okay, check runway, one side, other side, no one's coming. I could have used that taxiway, but whatever. Just going to backtrack. We're departing from runway 35. Okay, we are lined up. Everything is correct. And everything is ready for takeoff. So we are going. Take off. Okay, we can pull up the flaps if I can find the lever. There you go. And we're going to slowly gain altitude. We are a little bit loaded. I got on quite the quantity of fuel because I wanted to be sure that I could fly around before completing our flight. Going onto our route, exploring Tokyo. Now we're climbing over the western suburbs of Tokyo. Suginami is on our left and Setagaya on our right. We're heading towards Shinjuku. I have an add-on by Some Scene 3D that adds some details to the city. That's why the skyline is so nice and defined. Otherwise it would be a little bit more like not as visible from the distance because of the photogrammetry. I actually enjoy this area of the city quite a lot. It's a bit slower and there is still quite a bit to see, although it's more from the ground. From the air you can see a lot of low-rise residential housing. It is basically where a lot of people who commute to work to central Tokyo live. That being said, you can still see the little patches of high-rise, well, not skyscraper, but more high-rise. It's more like some malls and office buildings, because the suburbs of Tokyo are basically made of a lot of what they call Tokyo metropolitan, Greater Tokyo metropolitan area is made of a lot of smaller cities that are basically smaller municipalities, and each of them has its own little downtown area with its malls, its shops, its restaurants, its station, and its office buildings. So there on the left you can see one. So yeah, it's interesting because each little city has its own little identity basically. So it's very interesting to explore them if you have time for like day trips or whatever. There sometimes you like I like to go to day trips to like very scenic places, hiking or whatever. But sometimes it's just when I'm in Tokyo for a long time, it's just nice to just go and pick one of those little cities that are part of the Tokyo metropolitan area and just check them out and see what they have to offer. They have like very interesting places that are different. They are slower, but they have these little their own little identity that you don't find in the other in central Tokyo. So yeah, I enjoy checking out these places. And if you're in Tokyo for a long time, so should you. By the way, I set the autopilot on now, just heading and altitude and whatnot, because I want to be able to like look around without having to faff too much with the controls. In front of us, you can see right there the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Towers. I'm just going to do like a tour of Tokyo while we fly around without following our flight plan for the moment. On our left, you can see Ikebukuro. And on our right, we have Shinjuku. Like all the area with all the office buildings, there is ton there. It's a very built up area. It's really nice. It's very quiet at night though. It goes completely quiet. There's Yoyogi Park. It's great for picnics. That's another place where I love to go relax. A lot of people go there to do yoga as well. and Tai Chi. People from Tokyo love Yoyogi Park, and there are some really nice festivals close by, especially like food festivals from various areas of Japan. Again, Ikebukuro on our right. Even Tokyo is not too different from its suburbs, because you see a lot of like residential areas with each little city with its own. Well, they're not little at all. They're pretty big, but basically each city has its own downtown area surrounded by more residential areas. Like the photogrammetry in Tokyo, which is really heavy. It's not perfect, like it's not as good as in Ultra, but it is good enough to enjoy the city at least. It is definitely better than on console. And you can, by the way, find my PC specs in the description. It is a pretty powerful PC, but it's not a like super expensive PC, where now like flying over Tokyo Dome, and we are flying towards the eastern part of Tokyo with the with Skytree right in front of us. It's nice because even if I'm climbing, I can see Tokyo in the. I'm just gonna go like I can raise my visual and look in front of us. I'm just going to go like level at the moment because we are in a good sightseeing altitude. Basically, we're going to pass. It's nice that you can twist your controller Right under us there is Asakusa. Like if I look under our this is pretty impressive that I can just look this way and see there is the Asahi building with its strange weird sculpture on top. That there is Sky Tree. I actually really like this is the Sumida River, and we are now entering Sumida World, which is one of my favorite places to stay in Tokyo because it's pretty well connected, and just look at how impressive Skytree looks in VR. It's nice. Let me do a turn around a little bit. So this is Sumida World. And that right there is Ryogoku. And that skyscraper right there is the hotel where I stay in Tokyo every time I go there. Ryogoku has the sumo stadium. Now I'm gonna go towards the coastline. See, that's the sumo stadium, the hotel where I stayed at the Edo Tokyo Museum that's about to be reopened after several years that's been closed. I'm actually quite curious to go visit because I never visited before, and it's been closed so long that I'm curious. I just want to see it, right? We are flying 1,000, almost 2,000 feet, so we can lower the mixture a little bit. Yeah, we're passing the Tokyo Bay area, and it looks very impressive, even if it's just high. There, it's Tokyo Tower, right there, and I'm going to kind of circumnavigate Odaiba, which is a kind of resort island. That's why there is Chiba. That's the Rainbow Bridge right there. There is Odaiba with that Ferris wheel is actually a little bit outdated because it has been demolished, unfortunately. That was a very famous couple date spot. I think that's actually part of the package by Samsung 3D that I have installed that adds more stuff in Tokyo. There should be right there the Gundam statue. Can we see it? No, probably because it's only I. But there is Odaiba Island. Well, it's a reclaim island. And down there is Tokyo Haneda Airport. So right now we're going to go back towards our route. You can see Odaiba right there with the TV Tokyo building and all that. Now we have a nice view of Tokyo's skyline. A nice setting. The photogrammetry does not go like super far, but it's not too bad. And we can see traffic moving around in Tokyo. I know this traffic actually looks a lot more impressive in VR than it does. Just look there. I should not pass right here because you can see in front of us aircraft that are landing in Tokyo, Tokyo Haneda. So we're being a little bit, you know, a little bit naughty here. Then you can see an aircraft that is landing at Haneda. All the area under Haneda, near Haneda, which is actually really interesting, because there is a temple that is like full of Haneda airport souvenirs. Like you can find like talismans for traveling and all that. It's really cute. And down there you can see Yokohama. Let's see if we can activate navigation mode. Not yet. In the meanwhile, there an ANA aircraft that's landing. We definitely shouldn't be here. Like, definitely shouldn't be here. We should climb a little bit. So let's go in flight level change so that we get close to our and accelerate a little bit. So we get closer to our assigned altitude. Look at that. Oh my god, I'm being a sky pirate right now. Okay, let's join the heading a little bit. Okay, now we are in GPS. Now it did enter navigation mode. We are following our route as we are. We're flying over near Chofu again. Chofu is going to be in that direction. Chofu is a bit of an emotional place for me because the creator of Suikoden, Yoshitaka Murayama, used to live there. I interviewed him in 2022, and he was a little late and told me, hey, I had to come here all the way from Chofu, where we were meeting in central Tokyo. And as you can see, many of you probably know, the late Yoshitaka Murayama passed away a little while ago, and that was very, very emotional for me because I love these games. And lately, he passed away before he could release Ayuden. Oh, by the way, I should turn off taxi and landing lights. He passed away before he could release Ayuden, his newest game, and that was really painful for me to because I met him not long before, So our route today will bring us to Nagoya, and we're going to land at Tokyo Centrair Airport. Sorry, at the Chubu Centrair Airport. Now we are climbing nicely towards our route, our cruise altitude, which is gonna be for 5,000. Should probably put on a bit of heat since we have a little bit of moisture. We are approaching the Tama River again. In front of us and to the right we have Achioji and Tachikawa. Tachikawa is where Nihon Falcom is located. They are the creators of the Trails series of JRPGs, which are really good if you're not familiar with them. Tama River is a really large river on to the west of Tokyo. Pretty much cuts its suburbs from north to south. Well, from northwest to southeast. If you look to the to the left right now, down in the distance, you can see Kawasaki, which is one of the bigger suburban cities of Tokyo, and Haneda Airport. Just look at the detail, like the area look fantastic from here. And Tokyo still look at with the Samsung 3D skyline. It still looks quite impressive, even at this distance. In front of us, we can see the skyline of Yokohama. It's nice to see, to just look at your side, and you see your co-pilot. Today we don't have any passengers, as you can see. And we are slowly climbing to our, let's lower the climbing speed to something a little bit more reasonable, so we're climbing a little faster. I think 100 knots is going to be fine. Once you're used to it, the interaction system works really well. You can see that you can just twist the controller to turn the knobs. You can move it up and down a little bit, like twisting your wrist to flick the switches, and it works intuitively. I just need to get used to it, because moving from the mouse to this kind of controller, it takes a little bit of getting used to. That's why you probably see me reach out for the mouse quite often, just because I'm used to it and I need to do things fast. And sometimes, and so luckily I have my mouse right here. It's funny because I actually need to kind of tentatively reach for it, like I do for the stick or the throttle, because I don't physically know where they are. I can't see them. As you can see, that's Yokohama in front of us. At this altitude, the photogrammetry really works. When you're a little lower, it's a little bit like, sometimes you see a bit of a crumpled effect, but at this altitude it really works nicely. I can open the window if I want, with a nice change in sound. This is um, the default Cessna 172, but I'm using Eco 19's audio pack. There you can take a good look at Yokohama. With the Minato Mirai 21 district right there, which is a very modern, very nice district of Yokohama that you should visit if you are there, because it's really nice. And you can see right there the landmark tower, which you can climb. It is a little bit like expensive. You have to pay a fee to climb, to get there, but it's not terrible. We are now at 5,000 feet. I'm actually checking. Let me go here. I still prefer the mouse though for the tablet. Go to our JTF. Weather. Okay. Actually want Anida, a JTT. I want the charts, and I don't remember what the transitional altitude is going to be around here, 14,000. So I'm still supposed to be on local, which is then, since I'm not using really I'm not 30.09. Now I am a little bit fast with the RPM, so I can also lower the mixture. If you look to the left, there is like all the shipyards and docks of Yokohama port, and like if you look right there, there are some like military ships. It looks like some destroyers or something right there. Of course, what's at anchor at any point depends pretty much on where the photogrammetry was taken. And down to the north, sorry, to the south, there is going to be Yokosuka, which is another big port city, where the big American port is. Yeah, this is still Yokohama. You can see like all the ships there at anchor and being built there. Now we are flying over Kamakura. Like the new photogrammetry they installed, it's incredible. Like it extends so far into the the Tokyo metropolitan, the greater Tokyo metropolitan area, that is really like, it's absolutely beautiful and so familiar, since I actually come to this area for day trips. These mountains right there, they are a very popular hiking spot, so I come pretty often just to hike. And I've been to the top of some of these mountains there. Like, you get to these some of these towns here, right here, and you with the train, it's a pretty easy train ride, like for a day trip from Tokyo. There are also some really nice beaches in that area. Like, so what you do is that you go for a hike on the mountains, then you go and you depart like from this area, go up to the mountains, then you come down a little bit more towards the extreme, the tip of the peninsula, and go to the beach to like relax in the evening. So yeah, if you are in Tokyo and you have some times and you want to do a day trip, this is actually a really nice area to come. The beaches that are more like well known are on that side. Like, that's Enoshima right there, famous island, and the beach right beyond Enoshima is really famous. A lot of people go there to like do barbecue, picnics, just enjoy their time. And now we're almost at our turn. We're going to go east. Oh, sorry, I actually forgot to check out to like change my barometer. Which is going to be, I'm going to stay on Tokyo 30.09. If I had like ATC, it would tell me periodically, but I prefer to just use it like this. We're going to have a nice view of Enoshima right there while we pass to the side. And the beaches, those beaches are great because I love to go take pictures there, because there are so many oaks. Like, I've never seen as many oaks as you do in near Enoshima. I don't know why they are there, but they can be interesting, because fortunately we don't get much of a view of Mount Fuji today because it's cloudy, but it would be on that direction right there. But yeah, I don't know why there are so many hoax, and they can be pretty pretty annoying for tourists, because they actually like together with crows. Japanese crows are like big crows, but there is crows and hoax, and if you're like eating, they will dive bomb you and try to steal your food, which is pretty funny if you think about it. We are nicely going into clouds right now. Yeah, wow. Like the frame rate is fine. I have zero I have zero like squeamishness or issues, because In the end, if you think about it, virtual reality, vehicular simulations, and flight simulation in particular are literally the best application. There is Enoshima right there. And the beach by Enoshima's side. Because you're not moving with your body, so the application, like the headset, does a lot less work in trying to convince your body that you are like moving around in a vehicle. Of course, unless you have a very, very expensive setup, you won't have the vibrations, you won't feel your aircraft in your buttocks as you would in a real aircraft. But it's a lot easier to convince your body that it's fine, that it's how it should be, compared to moving around on your feet. So if you think about it, flight simulators really are the killer applications for VR. In fact, a lot of people that are on PlayStation VR, like on PS4 and PS5, really like were super enthusiastic for the implementation of VR, of PlayStation VR 2, because PlayStation VR 2 needed a killer application, and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is proving to be that killer application. And as far as I know, people are really enjoying it. Let me see a route here. We are going to go to RJGG, which is Chubu Centrair. I want to start bringing up the weather. Going to be 30.12. Okay. Perfect. Oh, there he is. We are blessed by a slight view of Mount Fuji right there, which is going to disappear in the clouds in a second from now. I wonder when we get closer on the Izu Peninsula. I just hit my microphone with my headset, which is great. Just making sure that they don't see it. As I said, as I want to see if we're going to get a clearer view of Mount Fuji when we're past those clouds. Clouds looks nice in VR as well. Yeah, I was saying that like VR is pretty much the killer application. Sorry, flight simulation is pretty much the killer application for VR. And at the moment, the fact that I can drop to high from ultra and have a pretty decent frame rate and not having any problem whatsoever in terms of physical sensation, it is good. It's starting to convince me because I can still have a very nice, beautiful looking picture while not having my performance tank, which is fantastic. I'm also using like NVIDIA DLSS, so that helps. But I think foveated rendering is pretty much the star of the show that changed. Can I point at that thing to close it? Come on. Come on. Sometimes it's not like the alignment of this, it's maybe I didn't calibrate it perfectly. Again, I am very much just gonna use the mouse. I am very much a noob in terms of virtual reality, so if I do something absolutely stupid, please forgive me. In the meanwhile, I am going to check out the charts at Chubu Centrair, just to start looking what kind of altitude my ILS it's going to be. My intercept is going to be at 1,200, I believe, and the minimum at 69. 69 is the runway altitude. Let's check out ILS 18X in the charts. Arrival, approach, ILS 18X. And as you can see, I can really read really well here. Okay, so it's going to be 1800 feet, and the minimum is going to be 220. So I will start setting my minimum. Now let me use my mouse with this. Probably a little bit better. Do this, but okay. Barrow 220. I mean, I should test the. Let's see. See if I can do it with this. Yeah, I can. I'm just not used to it. There you go, 220. It's set, and then I should probably already set the weather. It's going to be 30.12, so you go in Barrow. It is slightly difficult to catch the external ring of the knob. Okay, catch it. 30.12, was it? Yes. Okay. So that's in front of us is the Izu Peninsula. You're going to nicely cross it. Like, I'm flying really comfortably, and this is literally the first time I do a full flight in VR. I tried a little bit before doing this video, but just a little bit. This is the first time I do a full flight in VR. Oh, there you go. Still getting a little bit used to the motion controls. Yes, looks really good, by the way. Like, I am impressed how good it looks, and thanks to foveating rendering and DLSS and everything, you know, like the technological advancements that are in the headset and in the computer. Look at, there you go, some Mount Fuji view right there. Right now, VR, I can say it is mature enough that I can enjoy this. I will say one of the drawbacks. I've been in the air for quite a while now, and I am starting to feel the weight of the headset. It's still a bit weighty. There are lighter headsets around, but this is what I can expect. This is what has the Crystal Super has the features I want to like have to have a good like frame rate, like dynamic foveated rendering. Like if you're wondering what foveated rendering is, it detects your viewpoint, and it basically renders the screen at a lower resolution where you're not looking, which also is in PSVR 2, which is one of the reasons why PSVR 2 and PlayStation 5 Flight Simulator works pretty well. But if you look if I don't look, for instance, at that plaque to the side, you see that the resolution is low. But if I look at it directly, the resolution immediately grows and everything is readable. Even the clarity of this headset is really impressive. I can read everything, even just reading the tablet that is on the other side of the cockpit. That is super impressive to me, because I've tried VR before in passing at many events. I've never owned the VR headset, but I've tried it several times, and never it convinced me before. Like all the headsets I tried before, they never convinced me. The clarity wasn't enough. I didn't see really the attractive of it, because like if I had to like get 2 millimeters from something to actually see it, to see if I wanted to look at my avionics, I had to go to like get really close to even just see what they were saying. Right now, for instance, I would have never been able to read the numbers on the backup compass right there, but I can, which is crazy. Like, and again, we can see a little bit of Mount Fuji right now, but you see that it is so clear, and it is convincing me that while maybe I won't still use it all the time because it's still a bit heavy, and if I have to do like a 5 hours flight, it's probably going to be hard on my neck. I'm not getting any younger, but for a flight like this, I'm just starting right now to feel the weight a little bit. So it is front heavy. There is no doubt about that. But it is clear. It works well. The response to my head movements are great, much better than the eye tracking that I had before. And by the way, if you're wondering, if you test your eye track, I had a little bit of trouble calibrating eye tracking with the Pimax, and then I just discovered that it was because I had my eye tracking connected. So I just plugged it off, and then the calibration worked perfectly for the Pimax. So if you get a Pimax headset and you have an eye tracker as well, then plug it off, and it will calibrate your viewpoint on the Pimax without any issue. At least that was the case for me. Starting to bring up the route to see my approach. Want me to be at 3,500 at Minel, which is still pretty far. We have quite a bit to go. Minel is over Nagoya, So we have quite a bit to go there. A little bit of like flickering there, I don't know why, but it's fine. Can I take it off? Because it's annoying me a little bit. So let's do it this. Let's bring up the weather. There you go. Just look at the in high setting. I can see that the tree line gets a little bit closer. Like in ultra setting, I would see the tree all the way to that peak right there. And right now it stops there, so that is not as super immersive as it would be, but it's pretty fine still. And I just love the fact that I can just open my window and look down like this. And like, oh my god. My fear of heights is actually almost triggered. I have fear of heights, and I can feel the slightly squeamish sensation of that when I have my window open. So that's really immersive. I could open my door. You can't actually in flight. Mount Fuji is right there. Look at that. Just the top we see right now. Yay! It's Mount Fuji. I will say I'm impressed, and I am. Oh, by the way, this is a golf course. One thing that's funny of Japan, if you see it from above, you see so many golf courses. Japan during the bubble economy had an explosion of golf because people saw it as a posh sport and they had a lot of money. So they built a ton of golf courses. They're still there. They're much less popular now that the economy is not as good, but they're still there and people use them. And from above, you basically see a country of golf courses because you see them basically everywhere. There is one there, one there. Like, it's not even that many right here. If you look closer to Tokyo, you will see a ton. Closer to Osaka, you will see a ton. But there is still quite two really close to each other, right? But yeah, I am pretty impressed by the technology here. I would say that VR has gotten closer to where if not to the point in which I really enjoy it. Which I couldn't say even just a couple of years ago. The first VR experience that I enjoyed was Ace Combat 7 in VR. But that was just a gimmick because it was just a little bit of a piece of it was in the first PlayStation VR I tried. It was just a little bit of a piece of the game. It wasn't it all. So VR has always had this gimmicky idea that it was just a little bit of a team ride, and then if you wanted to play the real game, you had to just move back to the flat screen. Right now, it's different. It's not like that anymore. Right now, I can enjoy the full Microsoft Flight Simulator without many compromises in high definition, without making compromises, without compromising my experience of it. And you can definitely expect me to do more content with it, as long as I can keep this headset. And then I may actually buy one for myself because it is very enjoyable. The reason, it is very immersive. I haven't decided just yet if I'm going to buy one for myself, but it is something that I would have never considered 2 years ago, and right now I am considering it. But yeah, it is the full experience in Microsoft Flight Simulator without many compromises. Like there is, of course, a slight compromise in terms of fidelity, but there are things that look better. Like the sense of scale is much better. Like if you look you will see when we land in Chubu Centrair, which is a big airport with airliners. You will see that it's going to be like the sense of scale of the airliners around us will be much different. So that is a big thing that you don't have on a flat screen. So it is starting to turn me into a believer, and I think one problem with VR developers and VR headset manufacturers is that they push the wrong experience sometimes. They push experience that are pretty much exactly team rides. They are something that you do in a quarter of an hour or in 20 minutes and you're done. And then you're not exactly like you're like, oh yeah, it's like being at a theme park and then you're done, right? But then you go home and you play your games on your flat screen. Well, in this case, I can see myself doing maybe flights that are a little bit more touristy, but even 2 hours or 3 hours without problems, without feeling like I am missing out on anything, really. Actually, feeling that I am having an experience that I wouldn't have on a flat screen, which is important. I think flight simulators, racing simulators, space simulators are the things that you do while sitting are really the killer application of this technology. It's not like people are like all up in arms about Half-Life Alyx. I don't think Half-Life Alyx, I've tried it, it's a good game, but I do not think it's the real killer application for VR. This is the killer application for VR. This is what VR headset manufacturer should push. When they go to like events, they should put not shooters, not theme park experience. They should put a Microsoft Flight Simulator or DCS World or whatever computer and put a headset in on the head of people and just let them fly around and discover the experience of not having any trouble with movement whatsoever because you're sitting, but really experiencing something that feels like it's real, because this feels real, while the gimmicky experiences do not. They feel like do you feel the gimmick? You're like, I am experiencing the gimmick right now. I'm experiencing having to move with my thumb. I'm not walking. Of course, there is the walking VR things that cost a bunch of money. They are super expensive, so that changes things a little bit, but it is different, right? Like if you don't have those, you have to like rely on the gimmicky experience. Here you don't. Here you're sitting like you would be sitting on a plane. Of course you don't have vibration unless you have a bunch of equipment, but still it feels real. It feels right. And the definition that this has reached with the foveated rendering and all that, like the clarity, I can read all the buttons, I can read all the dials, I can read everything without straining my eyes. Before I had to strain my eyes. And you can actually see things you wouldn't usually notice, like this plaque right here. I never read it before because it wasn't really important. Right now, with the fact that I'm not that I don't have the barrier of having to use the mouse to look at things, or even just an eye tracker, which is not entirely like natural in the movements that it is that it requires, it is different. I'm looking around, I'm exploring things. I'm like looking at for instance, the circuit breakers, and I'm like, that I never really looked at. And I'm like, oh, this turns off the light, the landing lights. So if I turn on the landing lights right now, they wouldn't turn on. But you know, that there is things that I wouldn't usually pay attention to that I'm paying attention to now, and I'm really looking forward to landing, because one of the problems I have with landing this kind of aircraft, of course, is that your point of view is fixed. Right now I can look over my engine, which is something that you really can't when you're trying to land, because you are focusing on the controls, so you can't remove your hand from the throttle to put it on the mouse to move your viewpoint, right? Right now I can absolutely just raise my head a little bit, look over my engine. I want to look at the other side, what's down there. Right now there is nothing, but you know, if I wanted to, I could. If I wanted, I'm actually looking forward now to fly a helicopter, because one of the problems with the helicopter is that if you're trying to land vertically, you can't really look outside. You can really look under the helicopter. Like right here, I can. Right now my head is going inside the glass a little bit, but even if I were to do this, like, I can look straight under myself, and I could land if this was a helicopter. It isn't, granted, but you know what I mean, right? I could just look straight down and land my helicopter precisely on the helipad, which is fantastic. I will definitely do some content with the helicopter right now. One thing that I definitely, of course, you know, I'm an airliner guy, so I want to see how many compromises I need to make to fly with the PMDG 737 or with the Phoenix A320 to enjoy them in VR, because they are heavier, of course, than a Cessna 172. I hope, I believe. So I may have to lower the graphics a little bit more. I don't know. I can't really say until I try. But right now I didn't have to faff at all. Like, I literally just put them into high and they worked. Which is one of the things that kept me away from VR before, because you had to faff so much with the settings to get optimal performance that it wasn't fun anymore. That's what attracted me of PlayStation VR 2, because that was plug play, and I was into flying into an A10 into the Grand Canyon without having to faff at all with it. This was similar. I really had to do nothing. I had to calibrate the controls and the viewpoint a little bit. I had to activate foveated rendering, but that was like literally 5 minutes. And then in the simulator, I put the graphics at high, and it was fine. You don't even have to change your usual settings, because the simulator has VR setting is separated from full screen from flat screen setting, so you can just set them to high, or at least I could. Again, you can see my hardware in the description. And then I changed a little bit the traffic, because I wanted full traffic in the air, like with the airlines and whatnot. But that was it. And by the way, I'm using the ATG liveries, Airline Traffic Global by Bravo Aerospace, if you're wondering, to have a little bit more immersion. And also, Chubu Centrair is by Airport Development Brothers, something like that. Unfortunately, it's not available for purchase anymore, so you can't have it. I'm sorry. The group that made it like disbanded, I think. So it went abandonware, and there is a mod on flightsim.io that makes it compatible with MSFS 2024. But if you can't buy it, you can't, and it's a pity. It's a pity because it's a nice airport. While sorry, I was looking at Chubu. I meant Chofu Airport. That's Chofu Airport. While Chubu is a freeware airport on well, now it's starting to push a little bit my nose. I have to say that I have a big nose, so yeah, I can feel the headset on my nose right now. Definitely. But I was saying Chubu Center is freeware on flightsim.io, and it was just updated in April, late April, for compatibility with MSFS 2024. It's a really good one because the author basically wanted to make it payware, then it decided to just not do it, and it released it freeware. So it's not like 100% what you wanted to do for a payware airport, but the quality is 100% close, is really payware like. So I definitely enjoy it now that it's available for MSFS 2024. I just discovered it this morning that it was compatible when I was looking where I wanted to fly. So that is basically the add-ons that I'm using, besides the sound pack by Eco 19 that improves the experience of the default Cessna 172 quite a bit. I'm really looking forward to the Cessna 172 by A2A that I announced, because I really like the Cessna 172, and I have to say the experience that the default one gives is nice, but I really would like something even better, and A2A is gonna deliver for sure. So we're now flying along the coastline of Japan. Let me raise a little bit my headset because it is starting to weigh a little bit on my poor nose. Sorry, it is what it is, definitely. And we're now flying like along Shizuoka. On our right. Now we'll fly over Amamatsu, and then we'll be at Chubu Centrair. Okay, I need to put my headset back on. Okay, we're fine. So there is Shizuoka on this side, with covered by the clouds, and Amamatsu is in front of us. If you hear some hits on the microphone, that's literally me hitting with the microphone with the headset because it's right in front of me. Oh, did I touch? Oh yeah, I actually touched. What was that? I touched one of these circuit breakers. ADC. I actually don't know what that one does. Well, I'm still flying. Autopilot is still going. Okay. So flying over Hamamatsu now. Yeah, I need a little bit of a break from the Actually, we're not at Hamamatsu just yet. That is still okay. That should still be Shizuoka. And then Fujieda, like the metropolitan area around Shizuoka. Like that is Shizuoka, I believe. Okay, I rested my nose a little bit, sorry. Yeah, that with the river like that is Shizuoka. Fujieda in front of us, and Namamatsu is like in front of us. And still going right there. Yeah, a little bit of a weight on my nose, it is. It is. And I don't know how much is the fault of the headset and how much is my fault, because I have a really big nose. So, you know. I'm going to be overland soon again. Okay, that is Shizuoka Airport. Sorry, I had to actually check my map, because I believed it was, but I wasn't 100% sure. That in front of us is Shizuoka Airport, which is actually in Fujieda, but which is called Shizuoka Mount Fuji because it's like you get a really nice. It's called Shizuoka Mount Fuji Airport because you get a really nice view of Mount Fuji when it's not covered by the clouds. Especially in the winter when Japan is very dry. You get some really beautiful view of Mount Fuji, because when it's dry, like the atmosphere is dry, there is less cloud, they are low, especially in the mornings. It tends to get a little bit more covered in the afternoons. Shizuoka Airport is a base for Fuji Dream. Actually, this is not Shizuoka Airport. That one is Shizuoka Airport, sorry. That smaller airport is Shizuoka Air Base. Okay. So this is Shizuoka Air Base. That's the Oi River. Like that. I was a little confused because Shizuoka Airport is slightly elevated. I was like, that's not elevated at all. That's an airbase. That in front of us, right there, beyond the Oi River, is Shizuoka Airport. We're going to fly straight over it, and that's a pretty big base for Fuji Dream Airlines. If you want to see Mount Fuji, one of the places to see them, you just go to Shizuoka Airport in the morning, in the winter, like January or February, and you have a good chance to see it. Of course, there are many other places, but this side of Mount Fuji from Shizuoka is great. And look at that, like the Oi riverbed, how beautiful it is. Like, this is not ultra, but the aerials really hold up in Japan. And we don't have photogrammetry here. We will have photogrammetry again when we get closer to Nagoya, I believe, because they added it. They added Nagoya as well in the World Update 20 in September. But this looks really good. Okay, my nose is more comfortable now that I moved a little bit. So yeah. One of the drawbacks of this headset, it is front heavy, so you should probably there are solutions to make it like a little bit more comfortable, and you should look at the best solution for you. I will probably look into it myself a little bit more as well. Because right now I'm literally a VR noob. This is the first full flight I'm doing in virtual reality on PC. So you can imagine I'm not doing everything perfect. I can probably find better ways to make it more comfortable on myself and all that. But I have to say, the experience is positive, and I'm definitely going to make more content in VR. I'm definitely going to try airliners in VR. I'm definitely going to try some more low flying, maybe on a in May. In May they are going to release, I believe, the F4 Phantom by Hitblur, and that is probably going to be a blast to fly in VR, low and fast. And here we are over Shizuoka Airport. See, if I want to see the airport, I can just flying over it. I can just put my head out like this. It is something I wouldn't be able to do very comfortably without VR, which is impressive. I love that. I actually really wish someone made a good Shizuoka Airport scenery. That would be great. There isn't enough scenery for Japan. I will always say that. I wish there was more. Then we'll start to get closer to the metropolitan area of Nagoya. Which is heavily industrialized, because there is like a lot of like car manufacturers or whatnot, which is why Nagoya Chubu Centrair is a big cargo airport. There is a lot of cargo that goes back and forth, and also you can find very often there the 747 Dream lifters. I flew to Chubu Centrair to do some plane spotting, and I did see Dream Lifter parked in the apron. Unfortunately, it arrived in the part at night, so I couldn't actually take pictures of it flying. But I could take a picture of it like parked. Also, they get Antonovs. They get a lot of interesting cargo traffic in Chubu Centrair. It's great that we have a good scenery for free right now. I really enjoy. I am enjoying myself. I'm not gonna lie. I am enjoying myself. But yeah, the true test for me is going to be further ahead, which when I'm gonna try PMDG's 737 or Phoenix's A320 family, probably an A321 or something, because I want to see if I need to make further compromises to see. Look at that, another golf course. If I need to do further compromises to fly in a advanced airliner or not. Possibly not, because the factor is the CPU, and this is probably more heavy on the GPU, and my 4080 can probably take it. We'll see. I will definitely have more videos, and I will definitely show you what this does when paired with an advanced airliner. But for now, just flying around like this is an experience that is convincing for me. And it's the first time that I have a convincing experience. The clarity is great. The response is great. The frame rate is fine. The foveated rendering works great. This is convincing me that I have a future with VR in flight simulation, which is something that no headset before managed to convince me. And it is getting close. So yeah, I am very impressed. Hello, co-pilot. You can flirt with your co-pilot in VR. Oops. I just love the fact that I can like look at over my co-pilots to like look at their window to see what's up. And just look down my window here to see what's behind, what's directly under me. That is an experience that is really missing from non-VR flying. And now that I have technology that supports it, I am enjoying it a lot. Hello, co-pilot again. Let me refresh the METAR. Still third. I'm gonna see if I did it because I am actually not sure I refreshed it. That's this. So still 30.12. Okay. Because we are getting close to landing. See, even with like autogen, it's still pretty impressive. It's not as impressive as when we had full photogrammetry, but still, it is enjoyable. It is nice. Let me turn on the range a little bit. And I love the fact that you just, twist the controller to actually twist the knob. It's not the same sensation because you don't have you're not using your fingers, but it's still quite intuitive and nice. It is really enjoyable for me. And the thing is that flying over Japan like this, it feels familiar. Because I flew a lot over Japan. As you know, I go to Japan once every 3-4 months maximum. For work, and like I should actually be here now right now, but I'm working on something like for my family, so I actually had to skip one visit. I should have gone like between April and May. I wanted to go early April to avoid Golden Week, but unfortunately I couldn't. So my next week is gonna be in September. I miss Japan, and this is helping. But yeah, I've been flying over Japan quite a lot, and this feels familiar. Like, it adds realism, it adds immersion to the flight simulator, and I did not expect it. Not to this level, because I'm used to the headset I tried before did not have this clarity at all. The image quality was not nearly as good as this. I'm talking about older headset. I don't have a metric of comparison with the newer one, with other really new ones. besides what I've read, which is that this is pretty much a state-of-the-art headset for the moment. But, you know, I am really enjoying this. I will definitely have to try different headset when I go to Gamescom in August, because there's going to be a lot there. I'm not going to the one in Los Angeles because I just don't have time. One by Geoff Keighley, but that pretty much replaced E3. But I am going to Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show, so I'm definitely going to try more headsets there, depending on what they have. I am just enjoying the ride, and it's been quite a while. Despite the weight of the headset, which is not something that you can ignore. Like if I had a support for the headset, that would probably be better. It wasn't this front heavy, but still. Like 2 or 3 years ago, I would at this point I would be sick and with a big giant pain in the neck. So it's much better than it used to be. We are going to start our arrival pretty soon. I believe it's a north arrival. Let me see. Old Tom. Yeah. Old Tom, yes. We are arriving from Oldham and then proceeding to Meiji. Then we're going to turn back. The airport is here. So we're going to get a little bit of a view of the other arrival. Definitely not this one. This is the DMA arc, which I'm not doing. South arrival arrives from the other side. So it's the north arrival. There we are now turning into our arrival towards Oldham. Just look at when the aircraft banks, it is really, it works great. It just feels right. It feels right. Oh, actually, we are doing the other arrival. Autumn goes into Athena. So it's the marine arrival. I was actually wrong. Well, we are arriving from Autumn here. We're flying over Chubu Centrair, and then we are going toward the Athena Minel, and then we line up from here over Nagoya, the coastline of Nagoya, the riverfront, and then go down on our arrival. So we need to be over 5. We're still going to be at 5,000 all the way to Athena, and then we will drop toward Minel right there at 3,500, and then after that we will have to descend again to 1,800. Okay. So pretty easy, really. It's going to be an easy arrival that will allow us to see the airport from above before we approach. Fuel, we're fine. So far, so good. Like, just look at this coastal area, how detailed it is. And yes, I'm doing most of this with autopilot, so I can focus on the immersion. Of course, I will land manually, and I am really curious to see how well I can land. With this is going to be, by the way, the very first landing I do in VR. So let's start with the excuses, right? If I screw it up, it's the fault of VR. It's not my fault, really. Okay, next waypoint is Autumn, and will be the entrance of our star. I love the mountains, like the rendition of the mountains. They're great. Like I feel the scale of the world around me, which is something I really did not when I fly on a flat screen. So is this really turning me into a believer? Kinda is. And I don't know yet if I would use VR as a daily driver, but as a wow. You know what I would love to do? I would love to just have the possibility to fly with 2 VR headsets, to just fly someone else around with VR, with both of us. Probably our headset would like collide with each other every 3 seconds, but it would be fun. The possibility of carrying passengers has always been a big thing of mine. I would love to be able to carry passengers, even though not in VR, just someone being on another computer online, being able to look at the same thing that I'm flying, right? Just being my passenger. And you know, you could do that with like shared cockpit. I don't even need shared cockpit. I don't need my passengers to be able to interact with the controls at all. I would be fine with just the passenger experience to begin with. Of course, shared cockpit would be the ultimate experience, right? But even starting just with VR, with like a sorry VR, with a passenger experience would be fantastic. Would you be my passenger? I'm sure you would. Like I really want to reach into that pocket there and pull out something. Fortunately, I just hit my keyboard thing here because I really don't have space for room VR. So this is good for me. This is good for people that do not have space. Because room VR requires a ton of space. I don't. I have an office. And I have stuff in my office. So this is perfect for that. Again, Microsoft Flight Simulator is the killer application for VR. And other flight simulators that are as good as this. By the way, I am in on Sim Update 5 that improved the experience further for VR. So I suppose I can say that I did not try it extensively when it was bad or when it wasn't as good, but the experience so far has been smooth, really nice, really enjoyable. Just look at those valleys, like how natural they feel. This feels like I am flying in the real world. Like it feels familiar. It feels like a sensation that I've already tried in the real world. And I'm like, wow, I did not expect that. We are almost at the entrance of our star. And we'll soon be over the industrial area of Nagoya. The clouds, they also feel like natural. They're not at the top of the level of detail, but they feel natural for what you see like during while you fly in real life. Just the way they move back and forth, they fluidly move and obscure your vision just a little bit. It feels good. Okay, we are in our star. And you can see in front there, our destination is here. We're going to do this little circuit here to go to our ILS. Okay. After the next big turn, we have to lower our altitude to 3,500 feet. Let's just check that the... Come on. Weather is still 30.15. That changed. The pressure changed, so we need to change our barrel here to 15. A little bit of too much. 15. There you go. Temperature is 19 degrees. Pretty warm in Japan. Visibility good, few clouds, 12 knots from 170, which means that there's going to be a nice headwind. Now you can see in front of us that giant urbanized area is the industrial area of Nagoya. There's a test track here. There's a lot of trucks around here, especially test trucks, because there is a lot of like auto and motorbike manufacturers around here. This is really nice. This feels good. CBE is the next waypoint, which is directly on top of the Chubu Centrair Airport. There we are. Getting close to. There is another golf course. And I'm receiving messages on Discord. I forgot to turn Discord off. So that means that I have a little bit of performance overhead as well, because I could have turned Discord off. I forgot. I hope I don't start hearing a ton of blip 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 blip, because that's going to be problematic if I have to like I would have to like get off of a VR mode to turn off Discord. I really don't wanna. Here we are. That in front of us is the Nagoya, the industrial area of Nagoya, and like it's basically an industrial heartland for Japan. It's pretty much the reason why Chubu Centrair has been built, even more than for passengers. Even they had this idea to like build it as an alternative to Tokyo. That really didn't work as much as they wanted it to work, but for cargo, it's awesome. They used to have there is an older airport in Nagoya, like inside the city, but airlines don't fly there anymore. After they built Chubu Centrair, there is one airline that flies there, which is Fuji Dream, which is actually their main base. But it is the only one. And Fuji Dream is nice because it if you go to the airport, it's going to be very colorful because every aircraft Chubu Centrair, Fuji Dream has is colored a different color. They have Embraers. Is the only Embraer exclusive airline in Japan. They have, I believe, one 170 and the rest is all 175s. And they fly from Nagoya Airport, the older one. We are now deep in our star. And right in front of us, you can see it there. That is the artificial island that Chubu Centrair Airport is built on. We are still too close to see details, too far from to see details, but we're going to pass right on top of it. And actually, if you go to Chubu Centrair, they have an entire amusement park, theme park, dedicated to the first 787 Dreamliner that is going to be there. That is there. I believe it's a prototype or the first one that was delivered. It's a giant hangar with a lot of like restaurants and experiences. And I actually did not go because when I went to plane spotting at Centrair, I stayed outside until sunset. It was really windy and cold because it was January, and I forgot that the theme park closed at like 5:30, I believe. So when I wanted to go to the theme park, it was too late. It was already closed. Chubu Centrair is a really nice airport. They have some great restaurants, great places, and they have a giant panoramic terrace on top of the terminal that goes from one side to the other, and you can see the aircraft really nicely. The only thing is that it's really windy. And if you go like I did in January, like the sky, the weather is going to be beautiful, no rain or anything like that, but that wind was chilly. I never went to Starbucks as much to just get some hot coffee. Like I quaffed at least like 3 or 4 caramel macchiatos from Starbucks, which is because Starbucks is right in front of the entrance of the panoramic terrace. So yeah, now we can start seeing some details. And we are flying right above the industrial heartland of Nagoya. Feels fine. Let me see for a moment. While we're here, I'm gonna check out the checklist for yeah, you can read all the checklists and whatnot. Yay. We almost there. Now my mouse is back. For a moment it wasn't working for some reason. Now it's back. Again, probably has to do something with the VR mode, but it's fine. And if you notice, like even the loading of the thing, which is not at the top of a, like when you turn around your head, there isn't too much loading. There is a little bit, but not too much. It's not enough to me to like destroy my immersion. It is just at high. I wonder how it would look if you have like a really powerful computer, like stuff like a 5090 that is possibly able to run this at ultra with VR. In high is already very convincing. By the way, I have also an add-on for Nagoya City by some Scene 3D. So if you see some skyscrapers that are a little better than the photogrammetry, that's why. I'm going to fly straight over the airport. I'm going to check my approach, which is ILS-X. 18, I need to be at 18 by 18,000 by Malus. Sorry, not Malus actually. Yeah, by Malus. Which Malus is these. So Minel 3,500, Malus 1,800. So I pretty much need to descend very steadily. One 907 is already pre-selected. The ILS frequencies, that's great. We are now about to fly over Chubu Centrair. Take a look at the scenery. Open the window. You can see right there. You can see all that part like there is a whole panoramic area that you can watch the aircraft land, and it goes on the other side as well. There isn't that many aircraft that are parked because the quantity park traffic is at low, but I did put the variety at ultra, so I will have all the liveries and whatnot. And you can see that there is some numbers anyway. You can see the scenery is pretty nice. We'll actually not land from this side, we'll land from the other side. And we are now on the last leg before we have to start lowering, so we can start dropping our altitude to this side, sorry. $3,500. Ready to go. Let's just give a last look at the 30.15 is fine. Back to the charts. There you go. You can lower the range a little bit here. With mouse, sorry. There you go. When I reach Athena, I am going to start descending to 3,500. In vertical speed, vertical speed. Should have plenty of time. Okay. Vertical speed mode. Say 600, and I need to lower my speed. Push in the even lower. 1,000 feet per minute should be plenty. Keep my speed nice. And steady. We're now descending. Then when we get to Minel, we'll need to drop to 1,800, but we have plenty of time. Adjusted my headset a little bit. Turn on the landing light, taxi light. And we are now intersecting our selected altitude, so we're right at 3,500 nicely. No problem at all. And we are now intercepted at 3,500. There is another industrial area in Nagoya to the left, to the west of Nagoya as well, which you can see it right there. When we arrive at our next waypoint, Solon, we will select 1,800, which is the ILS interception. As you can see, $18,000. Minimum ones are selected. Oh, shit. Great, my alarm sounded. Okay, now I need to go down in vertical speed. Lower speed a little bit. To 1800. You can see the skyline Nagoya right there. $1,000 film per minute should be enough. The airport is right there. Okay, we are reaching our altitude, so put in a little bit more speed. And we are turning. Toward the airport. When we have finished our turn at perfectly at 1800, we can go in approach mode. Localizer is selected, and we are on localizer. Lowering the speed a bit, and we start giving flaps. Full. Oh, I need to reach for my lights. Let's getting closed. Close. Everything is fine. Approaching the glide loop, it's armed. We are probably being overtaken by an airliner right now. I can hear behind us. And we are in glide slope. Everything is ready for landing. Flaps stop. Maximum, yes. Oh, that was the airliner right in front of us. I want the map. Nice and steady. The possibility to just look around while you land is so good, honestly. Getting a little slow. A little bit of power, not too much. Such a good sensation just being able to look around easily when you are in landing without any distraction, really, because you can just look whenever you want instantly. A little fast. Okay, off the autopilot. And we are just going straight to landing. I think that the airliner is going to wait for us. The AI is the default AI is actually pretty good for that. No, it's not. All too bad. We're landing first. Sorry about that, mate, but I'm not going around. I've been flying for 2 hours and I actually have to leave. Wow, that guy is going around too. Oop, crap. Sorry, the crap was something fell. But we are fine. We have landed safely and uneventfully. Well, besides the guy that was basically invading the runway in front of us. And we're going to vacate the runway on that thing. The interception. The guy is literally taking off on top of us. So we better vacate as soon as possible. Okay, we made it. No one actually passed on top of us. Flaps go up. Landing lights off. And we're going to park. Just that this is what I was talking about. The fact that the airliners, the scale of the airliners is a lot better in VR. You can see that how big they look, while in outside of VR they did not look as big. Like taxiing in an airport, in a big airport, is likely one of the most impressive parts of the VR experience. Because you can just see like how the scale is just fantastic. I'm going to park on this parking here. This is not exactly general aviation parking, and I want to like look for more. Okay. And put on the thing. Yeah, here we are. Hello. Okay. We are at our parking slot. So we can go here and go into post light. Throttle idle. Electrical equipment off. Taxi light off. Avionics off. Mixer idle cut off. Ignition off. And master switch off. I should use the Pimax controllers here. I'm so used to the battery. Wasn't too off. There we are. Fuel selector valve goes left. Right, left is fine, and we have done everything. We are the Chubu Centrair. I'm actually gonna walk outside. Can I just do this? There you go. There is Starflyer there. Just arrived. Yeah, I should not walk toward an aircraft that is moving. I am aware of that. But this is a flight simulator, this is not real life, so I can enjoy it. All the China Airlines... Sorry, Thai Pacific aircraft are basically because the traffic is not at the top. But look at that. Just walking around the airport is super impressive. There is a pitch that is departing. This is live traffic directly from the simulator. I am not using anything different besides the liveries from airline traffic log. Well, just look at this scenery, how good it is for a free scenery. I'm just going to walk to that Starflyer just to take a look from close by to show you what I mean with the scale. The one problem is that I have not yet found the button to sprint Oh, there you go. Ah, it's a top. Oh no, it's not. Oh, it's just it's. Oh, I see. It is. It is analog. Okay. That's why I couldn't find the button to sprint, because it's of course it's an analog stick. I'm going to check out that Starflyer aircraft. One thing that I love of this ATG package is that it uses the default models for air traffic, which is really good. Like, they're better than in any other developer. Just look at the scale. Yeah, I shouldn't be here. Of course, I shouldn't be behind this guy. But look at the scale. Look at the scale here of these engines. Oh, the engine stopped, so I can actually be here. Of course, this is not as good as a flyable aircraft, but still, it holds up. Just look at the scale. It's completely realistic. It feels real. Like these manholes here. When you're flying around in VR, you can feel the scale. They don't look as big as they would be in real life. But here you can feel the scale. You can feel everything. The Skymark that's rolling. Oh, there is also Japan Airlines that's rolling there. Like being in an airport, seeing the traffic that goes around. This is the ultimate flight simulation plane spotting experience. Just 3 months ago, I was right there, taking pictures of planes and literally freezing because the weather was so cold. Well, actually, I believe the Skymark is actually coming to park. Just look at the quality of this scenery for a freeware scenery. I don't even want to think how good this would be if the author just decided to sell it and bring it to the best they could do. This is already for a freeware scenery, and even for a payware scenery, this is fantastic. I love it. Oh, Skymark is coming into park. So the conclusion for this video is, I am quite convinced. I think I have a future with VR, and the Starflyer disappeared. I have a future with VR, and I enjoyed the flight a lot. You will see more content with VR. You will see airliner content. You will definitely some jet fighter flying in fast and low content. And then we'll see. The sky's the limit. You will of course still see content without VR, but for the first... Well, that Japan Airlines is also coming to park. For the first experience of a full flight in VR, I am very handily convinced, which never happened before. So this headset by Pimax is at the technological level that I need to enjoy VR. The foveated rendering works great. The performance is good. The immersion is great. The image clarity is fantastic. It's a bit front heavy again, but I don't think we can ask of VR at the moment not to be a bit front heavy. But if you can get over the front heaviness of the headset, I've been using it for hours at the moment, and it's been quite a while, so, you know, it's not like I'm dead and my neck does not hurt. Hello, man. This Japan airline is going to park now. There you go. See the sense of scale you have with these airliners. You don't have it without VR. So yes, ultimately the Pimax Crystal Super convinced me. And I'm sorry if I said Pimax a few times. I just learned the correct pronunciation and old habits die hard. Part of the credit certainly goes to the VR experience in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, which at this point has become quite mature and polished. Also thanks to Sim Update 5, which has just dropped, and the effort they have done to implement PlayStation VR 2. That being said, the headset itself offered a very solid experience. The weight on the nose is my main complaint, but the fact that I have a big nose isn't exactly Pimax's fault. Other than that, after 2 hours flying, the experience was solid, it was realistic and immersive. The tech included in this headset is definitely better than anything I've tried before, and it allowed me to run the sim with the performance I wanted without making compromises that would have spoiled the immersion. I'll certainly test it more over the next couple of months. For now, I am personally quite happy with it. So I'll end this video here, and I'll see you soon in the next. Thank you for watching. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. That's always super helpful. You can also leave a comment if you have feedback. We always enjoy reading them. Thank you so much for your time and attention. We hope to see you again soon here on Simulation Daily's YouTube channel and on the site. We have plenty of content coming, so stay tuned.